Carias was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles to Guatemalan immigrant parents. He has dedicated the past decade towards developing and implementing educational and community-engaging programs aimed at promoting access to higher education and empowering undeserved communities across the country. This year, he has worked closely with our school in creating a unique partnership with USC Annenberg School of Communication and Journalism that brought great opportunities to students in our school, including our journalism class, our ethnic studies program. It is with great pleasure that we introduce Mr. Jaime Carias.
How do I top the speeches that just were done before me? It's been a great day. It's an amazing view what I see here, but let's get the show started. Good evening, buenas tardes. I said good evening, buenas tardes. What an honor and pleasure to be here this evening at the 2016 Commencement Ceremony for Communication and Technology School. Es un honor y un placer estar esta noche acá con ustedes en la graduación de 2016 para la Escuela de Comunicación y Tecnología. My name is Jaime Carias. Some of you may know me, some of you may not know me. Some of you probably laughed at me at Annenberg, or probably some of you guys laughed at me here when I used to come visit you guys. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator for the USC Annenberg School for Communications and Journalism. Soy el coordinador de programas de la comunidad para la Escuela de Periodismo y Comunicación en la Universidad del Sur de California. On behalf of Dean Ernest J. Wilson III, our amazing faculty at Annenberg, our faculty, staff, and students, we want to congratulate you on completing a great milestone in your lives. We were all there at some point in our lives, and today, it's your turn. Today, it's your day. And for that, congratulations. You see, I've been blessed to speak to many audiences across this beautiful country, something that I never thought I would ever do. But there's nothing more special to me personally than addressing a graduating class at commencement, because it's special. It's commencement. You're ending something and you're starting something new. But you want to know something? You know what makes this more special to me and in my heart? Is addressing a graduating class at commencement in my hometown of South Los Angeles. And I'll say it in Spanish para las familias. Yo he tenido el honor y el placer de platicar con mucha gente por todo el país, visitar bastantes escuelas, y no hay nada más especial de platicar con una clase que se está recibiendo en graduación. Pero lo que hace esta graduación más especial en mi corazón es que esta graduación son sus hijos y hijas recibiéndose en mi comunidad, donde yo nací y me creí, en el sur centro de Los Ángeles. Before I proceed, though, I want to thank some very important people who, without their support, vision, hard work, and commitment to your success, nothing of this would be possible. Ms. Cynthia Gonzalez, Principal. Mr. Colin Felch, Assistant Principal. To make amazing things happening. And in urban education today, it takes visionary leaders to be able to go ahead and impact education like they do here. I also want to thank all the teachers, counselors, and staff in attendance. But most importantly, I want to give a big shout out and thank my friend who I've gotten to know over the past year, and he knows who he is, Mr. Enrique Legaspi, for the amazing collaboration this year. Walking into your classroom was very fun, but you know what made it more fun was seeing the way that you were able to connect with all of our youth. And I want to thank you for allowing us at the USC Annenberg School to bring our little bit of knowledge and our students to serve as resources for your students. Thank you, Mr. Legaspi. I also want to thank all the wonderful families and friends and loved ones that are in attendance today. Your babies are graduating. They're 18, they're 17. They're going on to their next stage in life. Le quiero dar gracias a todas las familias, amigos que están acá, ¿Saben por qué? Porque sus bebés se están recibiendo de la preparatoria, 17, 18 años, y ahora viene el próximo paso de la vida. But most importantly, we have to do this. I want to thank the graduating class of 2016 for all your hard work since kindergarten. For the past 13 years you've been in school, and today we culminate a long journey. You see, I first met your principal a year ago last spring, and she was excited at an opportunity for CATS to collaborate with USC Annenberg. And let me tell you something about your principal. Probably you guys know, but she doesn't take no for an answer. She doesn't give up. And maybe some of you guys have found out the good way or the bad way. But what turned out to be as a simple meeting at USC that afternoon resulted in a year-long partnership where I met many of you, either here at CATS or when you visit Annenberg for our high school journalism days, for our field trips. And I learned all your stories. I learned about your struggles. And I learned about all the obstacles that you've had to overcome. But I also learned about all your dreams and goals and how you will pursue your careers, how you want to give back to the community, but most importantly, how you all want to be leaders and positive role models for the next generation. When I was invited to serve as the commencement speaker this evening, I asked myself a few questions. What can I talk about? What should I talk about? And what's most important to talk about? Yo conocí a la directora Cintia González hace un año, en la primavera del 2015. Ella venía exitosa, con éxito, con la creencia, con la oportunidad que la Escuela de Periodismo y Comunicación en la Universidad del Sur de California pudiera crear una colaboración con CATS. Y les digo algo de la directora, como nosotros de latinos, no toma no como respuesta y no se da por vencida. Y creamos una conversación el próximo año, donde aprendí las historias de sus hijos y hijas, aprendí los obstáculos que ellos tienen que pasar todos los días, pero también aprendí de sus sueños, de sus metas y cómo ellos quieren seguir carreras y regresar a la comunidad y dar de regreso. Pero más importante, aprendí que todos sus hijos y hijas quieren ser líderes y quieren hacer cosas positivas para la próxima generación. Y cuando me preguntaron de dar esta presentación hoy, yo me dije de qué debo de platicar, cómo lo debo de platicar y por qué lo debo de platicar. You see, class of 2016, my story is no different than your story. My parents' story is no different than your parents' story. You and your families have encountered obstacles since you were in kindergarten this little. Some of you came from other countries here to America and had to surpass additional obstacles in language and culture. Just for the simple fact that you grew up and went to school in South Los Angeles, many across this country and in the state counted you out. Many across this country and in the state made a lot of assumptions about you. When I travel this country, and I proudly say that I'm from South Los Angeles, people look at me like I'm weird because they have this assumption about our communities. They don't believe that there's young, bright people like all of you here that want to be leaders, that are going up to marvelous schools. Si la clase del 2016, la historia de ellos no es diferente que la mía. La historia de mis padres no es diferente de la de ustedes, padres. Ustedes y sus hijos han encontrado obstáculos y los han sobresalido desde kindergarten, que sus hijos estaban chiquitos. Y solo porque sus hijos y ustedes viven y sus hijos tienen escuela en el sur centro de Los Ángeles, muchos en este país y en el estado dijeron no se van a recibir, no tienen sueños. Pero de todos modos, con todos los obstáculos, todavía han encontrado una manera de salir adelante. But class of 2016, despite all those odds against you, despite all the things, you made it. How did it happen? In English, they call it resiliency. In English, they call it grit. In Spanish, en español, solamente le llamamos tenemos ganas para salir adelante. ¿Verdad? And let me tell you why. Class of 2016, you're a very special class. You are one of a kind. You are the most successful graduating class in the history of CATS. You achieved the highest Casey pass rates with a 74.5 pass rate in math and English. But most importantly, and the one that puts a great smile on my face tonight and on the smile of all these people in attendance and the teachers here and the principal and the leadership, is that 46% of you were accepted to a 4-year university, which is almost double from the class of 2015. You should all be very proud of yourselves. You were accepted into 42 different colleges and universities throughout the state and the country. Yes, you, kids from the neighborhood, kids from South LA, will be traveling the country and the state. I got a message for those colleges and universities. Watch out. Knowledge, stories, opportunity, grit, ganas, and valor are coming knocking at your door. And I've gotten to know some of you, like Charlie Cardosa, who'll be going out to Cal State Dominguez Hills to pursue a degree in computer science. Like Linda Rodriguez, who I met at our high school journalism day, and took Studio C like an anchor I had never seen anybody done before. It just sounded like a natural, delivering the news, sharing their story. And now it's off to the University of Oregon, the Ducks, in another state. But the one that really, all of you touched my heart. But the one that really has touched my heart today, Guadalupe Rufio. From South LA, when I met Guadalupe at first, a couple of weeks ago, we came to shot a video here. She said she was going to USC, and it made me happy. But today I find out that she told USC no, and I said, what's going on? And she said, I'm going to Columbia University in New York City. I looked at her, I said, I don't blame you. And Ivy League school across the country, get out of the community, go see something new. You see, it takes a village to raise a child. Toma una comunidad para criar un niño. Toma una comunidad para que un estudiante salga adelante. And it's the work of this whole community. Es el trabajo de toda esta comunidad. La razón, the reason why we have great, amazing achievers here today in front of you. Es la razón porque tenemos grandes estudiantes haciendo cosas positivas para salir adelante. See, I remember as a child, standing on Slauson and Broadway. Maybe some of you guys know where that's at. Yo me acuerdo como niño parándome en la Slauson y la Broadway, underneath the 110 freeway, eating my tacos with my mother and father at Tacos Los Huichos or Tacos El Gavilán. Yeah, right? Yo me acuerdo como niño parándome abajo del freeway 110 con mi mamá, con mi papá, comiendo nuestros tacos al pastor y asada, de las trocas, de Tacos El Gavilán y de Tacos Los Huichos. Y les digo eso. Why? Because we could never eat at fancy restaurants growing up. We had no money. My malls were the Slauson and Alameda Swamis and Pacific Boulevard and Huntington Park. No podíamos ir a comer a restaurantes finos, poner a los niños porque no teníamos dinero. Lo mejor que teníamos era el Gavilán y los Huichos, o a veces Quintaco. Mis malls eran el Swami de la Alameda o el Swami de la Slauson o Pacific Boulevard and Huntington Park. Y me acuerdo tomando el bus down Gage. I remember taking the bus down Gage to Pacific and walking, and this was a big empty parking lot, a big dirt lot. You see, my two immigrant parents came from Guatemala to America, like many, if not all of your parents and families here tonight, in search of one thing, the American dream. O como dicen en español, vinieron buscando vida. Mis padres vinieron a este país de Guatemala, como muchos de ustedes y sus familias, buscando el sueño americano, o como uno dice en español, buscando vida. They came here for a better life, not necessarily for themselves, but for all of you here sitting on stage today, for all of you here going to your next level in your life. They came here for this exact moment you are experiencing and living tonight. Vinieron ustedes a este país para vivir este momento que están viviendo hoy con sus hijos. They sacrificed all they had. They took the jobs that nobody wanted. They worked long hours day and night. And all they asked of you was one thing. Do good in school. Do good in school, mija. Haz bien en la escuela, mija. Parents, fathers, feel proud of yourself. You came to this country for the American dream. And I'm here to tell you that a part of that dream becomes true tonight. Vinieron a este país por el sueño americano. Y les digo algo, que parte de ese sueño se hace realidad hoy. Let's give your parents a big round of applause. You see, 13 years ago, I sat in your chairs as a 17-year-old high school senior. I looked just like all of you, scared, confused, and frankly lost. And scared because I had no idea what my future held or what the world had in store for me. If someone would have told me back then that years later I would be standing here on stage today giving you the commencement speech, I would have looked at them and said, man, you crazy. I had made it out of South Los Angeles, and I knew what my future held. Immediately was on my way to University of California at Santa Barbara for college. My parents were happy that I was graduating from high school. They were going to throw the biggest and craziest, loudest party for me, like your families will either tonight or this weekend. Since then, I have learned plenty, and I will share some of those experiences with you. As you go on to your next journey, you will find many people who will question you and tell you what you cannot do in life, who will doubt you. You will find people that because you look the way you look, because you talk the way you talk, because you dress the way you dress, and quite frankly, because when you introduce yourself and you tell them you're from South Los Angeles, they're going to look at you funny. But there's going to be very few that will offer you a hand and help you do what you are meant to do in this world. You see, graduates, as first generation graduates, as students from South Los Angeles, we have to work extra harder. But it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. And it's about always being proud of where you come from. I'm here to tell you one thing. People say all the time, and you probably heard it, dream. Your dream can become true. I'm here to tell you to dream, but not only dream, to strive for your dreams. Now you may be asking yourself, why are you telling us this? Is this why you came to share it with us? I'll tell you why. There's going to be many times in life where you don't feel accepted. There's going to be many times in life when you feel you don't belong. You're going to step into places that are going to make you feel weird inside, that are going to make you shake you. You're going to step into places that are going to make you tell yourself, do I belong here? Should I be here? When I arrived at UCSB my freshman year, my suite mate, his father, was an executive producer for Fox. My father was a mechanic and bread baker, and my mother is a maid in Beverly Hills. And when we introduced ourselves, and I said, my name is Jaime, he said, my name is Sean. The next question was, where are you from? I asked him first, I beat him to it. He said, I'm from Malibu. And then I sit there shaking, scared. How am I going to tell him I'm from South Central LA? How am I going to tell him I'm from South LA? Do I tell him I'm from LA? Downtown LA? South of downtown LA? Right? And I told him, and then we realized that we came from two complete different worlds. And for all of you that are moving away from home, that's reality that you will have to face. And always remember all the struggles and all the grit that you've gone through to go ahead in this. Because our communities are resilient. Our communities are humble. Our communities have great talent to offer to society and the world. You are that product. I want you to always remember where you came from, but most importantly, where you're headed. Most importantly, where you're headed. See, after I graduated with a master's degree from USC, I remember my mom crying on stage and saying, Mijo, I knew you could do it. I believe in you, right? But then she said, ¿Qué vas a hacer próximo? What are you going to do next? And I said, after all I've been through, I'm going to commit myself to a life of public service. See, graduating today is the start of a new journey. In 4 to 5 years, I want all of you to be experiencing another graduation from undergraduate. And then hopefully going on to get your master's, your doctorates, your JDs, but most importantly, becoming servant leaders. See, I never thought I would do this because as a kid I would collect cans on the trash cans at USC. As a kid I would clean homes in Beverly Hills with my mom. In 2015, I received a call to now lead community programming for the University of Southern California Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism for the same community that I grew up in. And I met all of you, and for that, I'm thankful. Obstacles make some people break records. Obstacles make some people break and others break records. You are all record breakers. Congratulations, class of 2016. You deserve it. You young men and women took a dream and made it into a reality. For the past 13 years, you've known what's next. First grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. For the first time in your life, you have some uncertainty, even if you're going to college, because you don't know how that's going to look like or feel like. There's three things that I want to share with you to close, that I wish somebody would have told me at my graduating class in high school. Three things that I've learned that will help you along your journey. Here they go. Follow your passion and take risks. It's young. You're young. Follow your passion. Take risks. You've taken risks all your life. El que no arriesga, no gana. You've taken risks all your life. All of you risk every day. Just coming to school. Now take risk in college and in your next step in life, and it'll pay off. Finding mentor, aka a sponsor. As first generation students, we lack social capital, social cultural capital, which means that you're gonna find yourself in situations where unfortunately you can't call mom or dad because it's too technical. Find mentors on your college campus. Find professors, find staff, find older students that could guide you through that process. Because mentors will help you after college to start your career. And finally, something that I see in our inner city youth, learn how to sell yourself. No one could sell yourself better than you can. In closing, when I was a kid, I used to love watching one cartoon, and it's called The Pinky and the Brain. And I don't know if you guys saw it growing up. But Pinky used to tell Brain something. Gee, Brain, what do you want to do tonight? And Brain would tell Pinky the same thing. The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. And then Brain would say, we must prepare for tomorrow night, Pinky. And then the Pinky would say, why? What are we going to do tomorrow night, Brain? And then the Brain would say, the same thing we do every night. Pinky, try to take over the world. Class of 2016, take over your world. Whatever that is. You've taken over your world to get to this journey, and now as you go on to your next journey, you're entering a new world and take over that world. And always remember where you came from, but most importantly, where you're headed. Thank you very much.